Welcome to today's lesson on understanding the animal cell as a eukaryotic cell and the functions of its organelles. In this session, we will explore the key components of an animal cell and their specific roles, providing a clearer picture of how these structures contribute to the cell's overall function. In our lesson for today, we will begin by identifying and describing the different organelles found in an animal cell. For each organelle, we will also learn about the specific function it performs, as well as how all the components work together to sustain the cell's activities. So far, you have learned about the general structure of eukaryotic cells and the fact that animal cells fall into this category. This foundational knowledge has introduced you to the concept that animal cells possess a true nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles, distinguishing them from prokaryotic cells, which lack these features. This foundation allows us to delve deeper into the specific organelles found within animal cells, enhancing our biological understanding by clarifying how each part of the cell contributes to its efficiency and viability. Let's get started. In this lesson, we will explore the animal cell, which is a type of eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cells are characterized by the presence of membrane-bound organelles, each performing specific functions necessary for the cell's survival and proper function. Let's look at the key organelles found in an animal cell and understand their roles. Firstly, let's learn about the nucleus. The nucleus is enclosed by a double membrane called the nuclear envelope. Its function is to house the cell's genetic material, or DNA, and to be responsible for controlling the activities of the cell by regulating gene expression. The DNA in the nucleus codes for specific proteins that are essential for growth, repair, and overall cell function. Next, let's look at the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance that fills the inside of the cell. It contains dissolved nutrients, salts, and enzymes. Many of the chemical reactions necessary for the cell's activities occur in the cytoplasm, making it the site of metabolic processes. Let's move on to the cell membrane. The cell membrane is a flexible, semi-permeable barrier that surrounds the cell. It controls the movement of substances in and out of the cell. It allows essential nutrients like glucose, water, and oxygen to enter, while preventing harmful substances from coming in and ensuring waste products such as carbon dioxide are expelled. Next, the mitochondria are rod-shaped organelles with a double membrane. They are the sites of aerobic respiration, a process that converts glucose and oxygen into energy in the form of adenosine triphosphate, ATP, which the cell can use for various activities. Essentially, mitochondria provide the energy that powers the cell. Finally, the ribosomes are tiny, round structures, either floating freely in the cytoplasm or attached to the rough endoplasmic reticulum. They are the sites of protein synthesis. Ribosomes read the genetic instructions from the mRNA and assemble amino acids to form specific proteins needed for various cell functions and structures. Grasping these details is crucial for appreciating the complexity of cellular processes and their implications in larger biological systems. Before we conclude, let's work through some questions to consolidate our knowledge of animal cells and their organelles. Here's our first question. Given the diagram of an animal cell, identify the nucleus and its function. Pause here to have a quick go. The nucleus is the large central organelle that usually has a distinct boundary. It is often spherical or oval in shape. The nucleus is the organelle that stores the cell's genetic material, or DNA, and controls the cell's activities. Here is a second question. What is the main function of mitochondria in an animal cell? Pause here to test your memory. The primary role of mitochondria is to release energy for the cell through the process of cellular respiration. In today's lesson, we studied the structure and function of animal cells, specifically focusing on their classification as eukaryotic cells. We started by defining eukaryotic cells, highlighting their distinct characteristic of having membrane-bound organelles, which sets them apart from prokaryotic cells. We then explored the various organelles within an animal cell and their respective functions. Firstly, we discussed the nucleus, which houses the cell's genetic material and is the control center for cell activities. Following this, we examine the role of the mitochondria, known as the powerhouse of the cell, where energy production occurs through cellular respiration. Additionally, we discuss the importance of the cell membrane, responsible for regulating the movement of substances in and out of the cell, maintaining homeostasis, and providing structural support. We also learned about the cytoplasm, the jelly-like substance filling the cell, was noted for housing the organelles and being the site of numerous cellular processes. Finally, we learned that the ribosomes are the site of protein synthesis. By understanding these key components and their functions, you now have a solid foundation for further exploring cellular biology and the complex processes that keep animal cells functioning. Watch the rest of the GCSE biology course at Sophos Education.